Hello and welcome to another episode of the Y'all Dirty Podcast, where we talk about all things dirty when it comes to our homes, hygiene, and anything that gets under our skin in general. My name is Sara. I'm your host, professional organizer, cleaner, packer in the Indianapolis area as well as in Nashville, Tennessee. With me is my sound engineer, Eric. Hello, Eric.
Hello.
How are you today?
Yeah.
We've already been through some stuff on our Patreon episode, so Eric's already really grossed out and ready to go home.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. All right. So, like I said, we just recorded our Patreon episode that followed the finger licking episode from last week. How did you feel about our follow-up? I felt like we talked about some interesting things.
Yeah, I wish we could have tracked down that lady in the tank top.
I know.
If anyone knows her, please reach out to us.
If you're in the Pittsburgh area and you know the girl that licked her fingers while making pecan rolls, we would like to speak with her.
Oddly specific. But,
yeah.
Well,
I'm sure if someone locally showed up in that tank top and said, "I'll lick my fingers," then Eric would be happy to talk with her.
I can travel.
So, yeah, in that episode, we followed up on the two headlines that we talked about. We talked about Joe, our wet willy guy. We had a follow-up story on him. We had the follow-up story on the girl who licked her fingers at the bakery. There was more information to talk about there that we just didn't know about last week, and that was interesting. And then we had two other categories of finger lickers that we did not have time to talk about. So, yeah, if you go to patreon.com, Y'all Dirty Podcast, we have two tiers. And I was incorrect last week as far as what tier one is called. It's actually called Y'all Somewhat Dirty, not slightly dirty. So
Okay.
Tier one is Y'all Somewhat Dirty. Tier two is Y'all Really Dirty.
Really.
And the difference is tier one is audio, tier two is video, and it's all exclusive content. It's extended content that will never be aired on our regular show. So as we get going, if you're interested in carrying on these conversations with us, that's where you can find us there. We also have our new website, www.y'alldirtypodcast.com. Where we have clips of little clips of the episodes, and then those will direct you to our main episodes on YouTube. You can also use the contact form there, to just tell us what you think. You can also email us at y'alldirty@outlook.com. And Eric, did you say that we had some feedback?
Well, yes, hang on here.
Do we have some fan mail that came to that you clearly printed out?
Well, we have a printer. We need to use it, right?
That's right, yeah.
It gets lonely.
What do the people have to say?
Okay, the first one is to both of us. And the subject line was, "You idiots."
It was not.
It was.
Was it? Okay.
We spelled the word giblets wrong.
Oh, I did want to talk about that. And I know you're saying we to protect me. It was my fault. But here's my thinking. So where we grew up, I always heard giblets. If it's spelled with a G, people pronounced it giblets. So I thought giblets would be a J. Plus, I thought it was a made-up word. I thought that was part of your special urban dictionary of no. Okay.
Giblets.
So I did want to tell you, you had a suggestion. I gave you the homework of coming up with the lady version of what that would be. And you told me, and you were giggly with it. I could tell through your text message, the lady giblets.
Lady giblets. Very creative.
It was. However, the only thing I could think of was that it sounds like a junior high girls volleyball team.
Ooh, Lady Giblets.
Now serving for the Lady Giblets is Jessica.
Oh,
I
Jessica.
just could not. So I don't know if Lady Giblets.
Yeah, it needs to be. I told you. There's three of them. You have the unisex one, which is called... Remember, I sent it to you.
Was that the mixed vegetables?
Wedding vegetables.
Oh, sorry. Wedding vegetables. Okay.
Wedding vegetables.
Wedding vegetables.
Giblets and Lady Giblets.
Okay. But I feel like Lady Giblets, I feel like it's just kind of, they're not getting their own oomph. Like they need something more. They need to feel special and unique.
Do they?
Yes.
Huh.
So maybe I need to poll some of my female friends to see what they would call their Lady Giblets.
I think you just called her right there, Lady Giblets, again.
I'm telling you, I just can't get past like the knee pads and yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about there.
The
but
volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so, and then what was the other? So that was fan mail number 1.
Yeah, so the other one, someone had a complaint that I was being too hard on hippies and Canada.
So how do you feel about that? Do you agree?
I just wanted to acknowledge him that this is the email. I regret nothing that I said.
Okay. Eric is standing by. And you also
Yeah.
talked about Texans.
No, I don't have a problem with Texas,
I know
really.
we do like Texas.
Yeah, Texas is fine.
Yeah.
But
I haven't been to Canada since I was a kid, so I really have no basis.
they sell gas by the liter. They're on the full metric system.
Okay.
Yep, gas by the liter, speed is kilometers. It's terrible.
Okay. Yeah, and the thing with hippies is that, Eric just wants to make sure that his business is clean.
Yeah.
Right? You just, yeah.
Well, they ruin everything. That's what dishwashers don't use enough water now, Just it goes on and on.
Well, and like in hotels, and here's the thing about the shower heads, which we're going to talk about some stuff today. But with shower heads, if you go to a hotel, you don't have that water pressure because they've put that little filter thing in there.
Mm-hmm. To slow it down.
I used to date someone that would take that out.
Yeah. What a rebel.
Can't call him out because apparently it's illegal to do that in a hotel shower.
Who's enforcing
I don't know.
this?
Whoever checked in behind us in that particular room in that hotel is probably requesting that room every time because the shower pressure in that hotel is now amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that episode with Kramer where just blew him right out of the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah. So is there another message or was that?
That was it.
That was it? Was that 3?
No, it was only 2.
Oh, okay. I thought you said we had 3.
No, just 2 this time.
Okay. Well, I feel like that's not very brutal. I think we can handle that. We stand by what we say.
Well,
And we make mistakes,
yeah.
grammatical errors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm just saying because it's a made up word, right?
No, giblets is not.
I know giblets, but I mean, as far as how you're using it, do you want a different spelling? Just so that it stands out as something different? Or do you want to just
I think we should do
be
it
a
right.
sheep?
We should just be sheep and go giblets with a G.
Just go, okay. I feel like now that the website is up and we actually have a place where we can put merch, I feel like we can sort this all out. I feel like you and I need to have some discussions and yeah, so we'll figure it out. We got to get those towels out so that people aren't using
Giblets.
their regular towel.
Right.
So I was so sad. I found the Beastie Boys song "Finger Licking Good," and I really wanted to play it. And Eric said we would get in trouble, so I volunteered to sing it. It's finger licking good, y'all. I mean, they say y'all. I loved that. That would have been perfect.
I know.
But it is what it is. I do have a really special surprise for you.
Are you going to sing it?
I know you get no, it's a better surprise than that. So, you know how we talked about the KFC finger sporks?
Yes.
So yesterday morning, it hit me. Like I was beating myself up because after last week, I wanted to go online and try to find them and order them. And so yesterday I was like, crap, I totally forgot to do that. And now I've run out of time. So I went online to see if I could find them on Amazon. Some people had them on eBay. And I was just like, I don't know, it's still not going to get here in time. So I saw online where KFC said that you could actually go onto the app and order. I guess they were a promotional thing that came with the side lovers special. It was like a 8-piece bucket of chicken with a bunch of sides. And so when you ordered that, they would throw in the finger sporks.
Weird.
Well, so I went on the app and I didn't see that item to order. So I panicked. I was like, so I realized this promotion was from like June of this year until late July. And we're in September right now. So then it hit me, I've worked in restaurants and retail stores where you do a promotion and then you have something left over. So I called my local KFC and the manager answered. Her name is Alyssa, very sweet gal. So you'll never guess what she hooked us up with.
Look at that.
It is the spork. We each have one.
Oh, wow.
And see, they're in their own little hygienic, protective packages.
Wow.
I'm going to throw you
Go ahead.
yours. Oh, look at that.
Perfect.
You
Smack
should have
the mic.
caught that. I
It's fine.
smacked the mic.
It's all right.
So here's the other thing, and I'm going to give them a shout out. So this KFC, if you're on the northeast side of Indianapolis, it's in the Fishers, Noblesville area at the corner of 141st and 37. You know where that's at? It's
Yep.
the Mundy Drive location. So what I did was I told her, set them out for me. There were 3 left. So we have 2 right here. So what I did was I went and I said, you know what? Keep the 3rd one. I took an envelope. I purchased a $10 gift card. And so we together, I'll put the spork and the $10 gift card in the envelope. And on the front of it, it says the Y'all Dirty Podcast listener. So if you are in the Fishers, Noblesville area and you go to that location, when you pull up to the drive-through speaker, or if you go inside, just say, hey, I listened to the Y'all Dirty Podcast. I'm here to claim my finger spork and my $10 gift card. If they don't know what you're talking about, ask for a manager, ask for Alyssa, and just say, hey, it's in the office.
I love this.
Do you like this?
Yeah, they need to hopefully take a picture of their spork and be all happy and excited.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
I will say this. If you are the person that claims it, if you can either email us at y'alldirty@outlook.com or go to the website and just say, hey, I did claim it. If you have a picture, like Eric said, we would love that. And I will reach out to them. I'm hoping someone claims it. If it's still there in like a month, I'm going to go get it. But
Yeah.
I hope that someone beats us to that. So I wanted to give them a shout out because normally these were supposed to be included with the bigger meal purchase. So I thought, okay, I ate some chicken. I got the kiddo some chicken, and then I got the gift card. And I'm like, okay, I want to make it worth their while that they're giving us these. So I'm so excited. Do you like this?
I do love it.
Isn't it great?
Are you going to use it at Thanksgiving?
I don't know when I'm going to use it.
You need to use it at Thanksgiving
Now I'm afraid, like
video.
when, yeah, maybe so. Like when people don't take things out of their original packaging because of the value, like there weren't any more left. There were 3. That was it. I'm afraid to open it.
Wow.
What's going to happen when this is used? When the germs are on it and no one else wants to purchase it.
Yeah, you're probably not going to be able to run that through the old dishwasher.
It's cute though.
Yeah.
It's really cute. So anyway, you're going to get spoiled. You're going to think that every time we come in here, I have a surprise for you. So
And I love it and I expect it. No big deal.
our last thing on finger licking, I know we talked about it on Patreon, but I wanted to save this for the regular show. So do you know that there is actually a fear of licking fingers?
No.
It's called lambindo-digitus phobia. I think it's Portuguese because licking in Portuguese is lambindo. And then, of
Okay.
course, digitus is finger.
Yeah. Hilarious.
So anyway,
Classic Portuguese.
that wraps up all of that. Okay, so this week's episode, I think, is probably going to be one of my favorites because when it comes to working with clients, this has been my number one pet peeve, y'all dirty habit that, frankly, I haven't even been able to really talk about. Like, I feel like this is my chance to actually share with the world just what I've been through. So, Eric, do you want to go ahead and just play the first clip to kind of give us an idea of where we're going?
Give me 1 second. I'm looking for something.
Uh-oh. That worries me.
Oh, man. You're about to luck out, though.
Are you playing with the spork?
No, not yet. I will, though. Oh, here it is.
Okay.
Okay. This would be the correct here. Wait a minute.
Eric has his phone.
Lambendo.
That would be the...
Oh, lambindo. Lambindo. Lambendo. Digitus.
Yeah, I didn't want to put the whole
Phobia.
thing in there, but...
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to do
Would you stop
clip
playing with
1.
your...
Well, I was going to translate something else.
Eric can't focus.
Okay, here we go. Clip number 1.
That's the second one. The first one was that pie.
And here we go.
I'm going to
clip
do
number
Eric's
1.
job too. There we go. There's number 1.
She just likes to be bossy.
I do.
I respect that. What happened?
Nothing.
Yeah, what was it?
Well, I was in the locker room showering, and I had to go, so...
There we go.
Anyway, I think the guy in the shower opposite saw me. He gave me a dirty look.
You went in the shower.
Yeah, so what? I'm not the only one.
Do you go in the shower?
No, never.
Do you?
I take baths.
Well, what was I supposed to do? Get out of the shower, put on my bathrobe, go all the way down to the other end, come all the way back?
Did you ever hear of holding it in?
Oh, no, that's very bad for the kidneys.
How do you know?
Medical journals?
Do the medical journals mention anything about standing in a pool of someone else's urine?
Okay,
If
go
I
ahead and
ask
stop
him
that.
now,
Yeah, because that
I
was
will
the
have
longer
no
one.
chance of going.
Okay. So, yeah, because I ended up splitting that up into 2 separate clips for 2 different categories. So we'll come back to, maybe that's what you had further down the thing was where
Yeah, that's
I
the second
split it
one.
up. The second one. Okay. Yeah. So we'll come back to the second part of that in just a few minutes. So today we're going to talk about y'all dirty golden showers.
Ooh.
Eric's a little nervous. I promise you, if you just let me walk you through this, don't be scared.
Okay.
We're going to give some concrete information here. We're going to stick to topic.
All right.
So a little backstory on this. I had a new client last year. They're still my clients. I love them. Great people. They had an almost brand new house. So when I started working with them, and I did a lot of different things for them, I did clean for them. One thing I noticed was their whole house was pristine in terms of fixtures, except for the shower. I would clean the shower, and we'll talk about biofilm and what that is later. It's normally pink. Yeah, it's the pink stuff that you can get.
Yeah, what is that? Biofilm.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. But whenever you have something that's slimy and yellow, and sometimes a little bit orange,
Yes.
9 times out of 10, we're talking about urine.
Okay.
And so I reluctantly went to her, and this was like my second visit. I barely knew her. And I said, I have something a little bit awkward to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just assume, but I thought, they have this brand new house. It's tearing up their tile and their grout. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, because your house is an investment.
Right.
So I said, by any chance, does your husband pee in the shower? And she goes, oh. And then she kind of looked up like she was thinking, and she goes, I don't think so. And she goes, I'll ask him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think you should. I think this is a conversation that people need to have with their significant other or their roommate. And we'll get to the importance of all of that later. So the next week I came back and we were talking about other stuff. And so I was like, so did you get an answer? And she said, yeah, I asked him. And he said, no, I don't. And, so I let it go.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the fact it could be products, which sometimes that can happen.
Sure.
We'll talk later about how that normally doesn't happen and how products usually present themselves on tile and all of that. But, this has happened a number of times over the years where guys have admitted, yeah, I pee in the shower. And then I'm like, okay, well, just keep in mind that, you're ruining the grout. And, there's a whole other
Stop peeing
umbrella
on your
of
grout.
topics. So let me ask you, have
Okay.
you ever peed in the shower?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. So now I know you have your own shower.
Yep.
And you clean your own shower.
Mm-hmm.
So I was going to save this for later in the episode, but you are actually the perfect candidate
Okay.
who is allowed to pee in your shower
Thank you.
because it's just yours and you clean up after yourself.
Mhm.
So,
And I don't do it all the time, but
yeah.
these things happen.
Yeah, no, I understand. So the clip here, is George going to the gym. And let me just go ahead and pull this up here. So there was an article. It's from Jezebel.com. And
that's an interesting website.
Yeah, it's called the I Am Investigation. It's Why Men Pee in the Shower. So basically, it sounds like it's a group of guys that run this.
Jezebel.com.
Yeah, Jezebel. They're doing the first installment of Inside the Minds of Men. This is an old article, but it still pertains to what we're talking about. So they send out the girl, like the one girl that's part of the editorial team, to talk to guys. And basically, they've got 3 types of guys that pee in the shower. They labeled type 1 the pigs, and their quote is, "I do it all the time." Type 2 is the liars. "I've done it before, but it's not something that I do." And then type 3 was the publicity whores. Only at the gym, baby. So that made me think of George and the fact that he does it at the gym, or did it at the gym. So they talked to a type 3, and this guy's name was Jonathan. And his comment was, "I only pee in the shower at the gym. It'd be nasty to pee in my own shower. That's gross." So then she said, "But you do it at the gym?" And he says, "Oh, yeah, it's like that episode of Seinfeld. I'm George." And then she said, "Well, what's the difference?" And he said, "At the gym, it's not my shower." So the reason I wanted to point this out is that a lot of people think that showers are clean. Even when they go to the gym, they're like, well, it's people are coming in and cleaning it. But then you've got people doing stuff in there that they wouldn't normally do in their own shower.
Right.
So do you think that's rude to go to the gym and do that when you know that other people are going to be in there? Or is that just par for the course?
No, I think that someone that wouldn't do that at home but will do it at a gym because it's somebody else's problem, I think is really, that's what
for that to be your excuse that it's not my shower.
These are people you really don't want dealings with.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yeah,
these are people out for themselves, cheats.
Yeah, it's inconsiderate. I don't have to deal with the consequences of.
And the hell with all of you,
Right. So I showed this clip to my grandpa who's 89.
Oh my gosh.
And, Grandpa is just not afraid to talk about this stuff. And this is the reason I felt comfortable asking him, was because over the years, he has told me about all these stories about, he's like one of 5. They've got 4 brothers. And so just all the silly, goofy, gross stuff that they've done growing up. So I was like, hey, and he loves Seinfeld. So I was like, watch this clip. So I said, did you ever pee in the shower? And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, up at the Y, meaning the YMCA.
Right. Great.
I said, Grandpa, you fall into that category. I said, well, did you do it? Did Grandma ever yell at you for doing it? And he's like, oh, I didn't really do it at home unless absolutely had to. So
but that's still different than what the other guy was saying.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So real quick, I want to talk about urine itself.
Okay. This is wonderful.
I know. We're going to talk more about it when we come to the toilet episode.
Oh, my gosh.
But since some people think a shower is a toilet, then this is where we're going. So a lot of people say that urine is sterile and that's why it's okay. And so when it comes to, let's see, Healthline.com says, despite rumors to the contrary, urine is not sterile. It can contain dozens of different types of bacteria, including staph and strep, which we've talked about, which are associated with staph infections and strep throat, respectively. And so the thing about when you're in the shower, a lot of people think that the water dilutes it. But then there's the assumption that people are actually peeing in the stream and it's going straight down the drain. When we talked about my client and where I was finding these spots and these stains, it's always to the corner opposite of where the faucets are. So when you think about if you have when you have a tub shower combo, and, say you're facing the wall and you're turning on the water, if the wall is to your left, it's that corner that's right to the left. That's always the spot where you're going to have the dirtiest stuff.
Okay.
So for women, which we'll talk about this later, most women don't pee in the shower. Some do. I don't want to say that they don't. But when they're peeing, they're actually peeing, if they're standing up, they're peeing straight down. The water's hitting them and it's going right down the drain. For guys, your aim is not good to begin with. So you do that in the shower and it's not just going right down the drain. It's going all over the tile, in the grout. So that's just one thing I want people to keep in mind. And it's not sterile.
Yeah, but do you think that there are some factors in that, though?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, if a guy's standing there and it's erratic and it's, you're talking about a guy that's got like 3 inches of screaming death where, you know what I'm saying? It's not making the transition down. Mm-hmm. So I think that there would even be a variable in that.
Yeah. You mean as far as where it goes?
Well, right. I think some of them probably do go straight down. Like
there was
mine
one
goes.
guy that said that he stands in the shower and opens the curtain and pees into the toilet from the shower.
Yeah.
It's a game. It's a game for 30-somethings, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so healthy urine is mostly water, electrolytes, and waste products. You really don't know. Like they say that if you have a urinary tract infection, do not pee in the shower because you do have bacteria. But even if you're healthy, you have healthy bacteria. Like we talked about in our bath towel episode, you're in a dark, moist, warm area. So if you pee on the shower tile and you're not rinsing it afterwards, then within a day or two, it's already multiplied by the millions. And it's right there on the shower walls.
Oh, kind of
Okay.
freaking me out a little bit.
Am I?
A little bit.
Am I getting somewhere? Well, let's just keep
Why
going.
are you the way you are?
Okay, so really quick, as far as the people that say that urine is sterile, when it comes to chemicals found in urine, according to WebMD, just this July, a commonly used weed killer showed up in more than 80% of more than 2,300 people tested for a national survey, including children as young as 6. It showed up in their urine. It found glyphosate in the urine samples of 1,800 people of the 2,300 people tested.
That is the active ingredient of Roundup.
That is the Roundup debate, right?
Monsanto,
Yep.
which now is Bayer.
Yep. Oh my gosh, you do know your stuff. Yep. Bayer says it will use a different chemical in residential Roundup, but not professional and farm use. Then CBS said that the International Agency for Research on Cancer, part of the World Health Organization, classifies glyphosate as quote unquote probably carcinogenic to humans, end quote.
Definitely is.
Yeah. So that has been found in urine for people say that, urine is sterile. IC Network reported that nail polish toxins were found in urine and they could influence bladder health. So it looks like the Environmental Working Group said that polishes by Sally Hansen, Essie, OPI, Revlon, all of the big, these are all the big brands when it comes to nail polish. They contain a chemical called TPHP, known for its endocrine disrupting effect. It's also used to make plastics and fire retardants used in furniture. And yes, fire retardants that have been banned in the state of California.
Well, but who cares about, you know what I mean?
Who cares about what? The
With
chemical?
No.
Who cares about California?
Yeah, like, they banned it. Well, my gosh.
Right. But the fact that chemical, because the person that wrote this, because she said, here's my concern. She said, I find myself shocked that nail polish, which I thought stayed on the surface of the nail, could actually be absorbed through the nails and cuticles. I thought that too. I thought it would just sit on the top of the nail, but apparently they found it in urine.
There you go.
So there's our urine talk. Like I said, that we're just going to touch on urine today as far as what's in it. So do you want to go ahead and play the second clip, which is still the same show, but a different argument?
Here we go.
Okay.
Could it be because you don't want him to know that you have a friend who pees in the shower? I think it is. I think that's exactly what it is.
Why couldn't you just wait?
I was there. I saw a drain.
Since when is a drain a toilet?
It's all pipes. What's the difference?
Different pipes go to different places. You're gonna mix them up.
I'll call a plumber right now.
Yeah. George is right, though. It's all plumbing.
Yeah.
It's all pipes.
So on Saturday, I actually called a local plumber because I wanted to ask them a couple, because you can search online and all that stuff. But I thought, sometimes I just like to go directly to the source. And I'm waiting for a callback. The guy was very nice. He was just answering the phones on a Saturday. So
I can tell you it's all the same.
yeah.
Now, there are other places in the world, though, like, because, we probably have a few listeners, maybe in Europe, where they actually do the brown water, gray water.
Oh, yeah. What is the gray water thing? I saw that pop up online. What does that
Basically,
mean?
stuff out of the sinks. So washing your hands, dishwashers, showers. The toilets are brown water or black water, sometimes they'll call it. Mm-hmm. Right. It is totally separate.
Okay.
But every place else, that's it.
So on Quora, somebody said, I pee in the shower. And then somebody else said, is it unsanitary if people urinate in the shower? This guy talked about the trap. Let's see.
The pee trap?
I think so,
Yeah.
which is fitting.
Right.
But he said urine. Okay, so as far as the toilet, I guess in the toilet there's a special, maybe it's the flow or whatever flushes out a little bit better. But he said urine entering the shower drain accumulates in this trap as far as the shower drain.
Right. But
Continued water flow tends to progressively dilute it, but never flushes it out completely, unlike the design of a toilet. Unless you like the smell of urine in your bathroom, it would be wise to use the toilet prior to taking the shower.
well, because it'll kind of calcify,
Yeah.
and then you have to.
Because
you
it's
can
that
just
uric acid, right?
Right. But you can run bleach through it and take care of it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I oversee the maintenance people here at the station,
Yeah.
and so I can just tell you that for sure.
Gotcha.
That's why urinals can be problematic, and especially waterless urinals.
Yeah.
They're no good.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's really no smell.
Yeah.
There's a cartridge that's like a one-way situation, but you're not diluting it. So it loads up with all of that, and it's like a whole other problem.
Well, and we're going to talk about the drain here in a minute, but I think some people just think that, the only thing going down the drain is water. And then if you're urinating, then the water is diluting it. And there's nothing. But when you've got hair and product buildup and all that
soap
stuff.
and all that kind of stuff.
So like if you're taking a shower and you've been urinating and then all of a sudden your tub backs up and then your feet are standing in all that old water.
Yeah.
Then you think that it's going away from you, but then it's coming back at you.
Right.
It's coming back to haunt you.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the shower itself really quick. If you have a shower door, you may get mildew buildup on its track. Because the question was, are the smells, if you have bad smells, such as, let's see, some common smells referred to when talking about shower odors. Old-fashioned perm solution, rotten eggs, skunk, fresh churned damp earth, dirty socks or gym towels, rotting wood, urine, mop solution, chemical tang similar to cleaners. Not sure what that is. So yeah, it's talking about how you can have mildew buildup on the track, like if you've got the sliding doors. In addition, as gross as it might sound, surveys have shown that around 70% of all people pee in the shower.
Okay.
That urine can become trapped if not cleaned away properly, causing an ammonia smell to build.
I don't know.
So do you have a shower curtain or do you have a door?
Door.
Well, that's good. So apparently, let's see who did this survey. So Realtor.com has an article about how often things in your bathroom should be replaced. How often do you think a shower curtain liner should be replaced?
Ugh. And those are dirt cheap too. So
Yes. I'm actually house sitting right now for one of my clients, and even though her shower curtain in the guest bathroom that I'm using isn't bad, I can tell just by the hard water buildup that it's been there for a little while. It's not pink yet, but I just went ahead and spent the $5 to swap it out. You're welcome.
90 days? I don't know. I mean, they're probably going to say, I think realistically though, people will never, unless they're just really bad.
Yeah. So about 6 months,
Okay.
every 6 months. So twice a year. That's not too bad.
No.
But there was a study done. Let's see. BGR talks about, there was a study, the dirtiest thing in your bathroom. Believe it or not, the toilet faucet and door handle aren't the most germ-ridden parts of your bathroom. It says swabs of the bathrooms revealed that the shower curtain and shower floor were far dirtier than the rest of the room, including the toilet seat.
Wow.
So we'll talk about shower floors and the rest of the bathroom another time, believe it or not, because there's so much to talk about. But when you think about when people are walking across the shower floor and then stepping into the tub or stepping into the shower, whatever you've got, the combo or the straight up shower, you're transferring the germs from the shower or the bathroom floor, which include around the toilet, into there. So that's not a huge surprise. How often do you clean your shower?
I don't know. Probably maybe once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the recommendation is at least once a week.
Okay.
You need to kind of like spray it down. I'm not a big squeegee fan, but you definitely want to keep it dry. So if you've got a squeegee, you could be somebody that just kind of like runs that over the tile before you get a...
Yeah. No, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
But I'm not going to. But yeah, that wouldn't be too bad.
Shower heads, they say to replace the filter every 12 months, which I actually had a shower filter that made my hair a little bit better and like a little bit softer. I bought it at like Home Depot. It was like $12.
So you're talking like an actual inline filter?
Like it was one of those things where like if you take off the shower head and you put the filter on and then it like screwed up into the thread and then you put the shower head back on.
I didn't know that people...
You didn't know that they made those?
No.
Oh, yeah. So the one I bought that was like 12, I think it like filtered out whatever lead and dirt was still in the water. But yeah, it made my skin feel a little bit better and my hair wasn't as dry. But I think if you just like whatever filter is in your shower head, I think you should replace your shower head probably once a year anyway. Just because of all the stuff that builds up in there.
I wonder... I mean, the hard water mineral deposits, but if you have a water softener, that's doing...
Right. Yeah. So shower curtain liners and shower floors were the two dirtiest things. Okay. Okay, now that we've talked about urine and the actual shower,
all right.
Do you want to go ahead and play clip number 3?
Got it. You talking about this one?
Yes.
Well... We may or may not.
Jesus.
Did you just pee in the shower?
What?
You did, didn't you?
Yeah. I pee in the shower every single time. Everyone in the world does.
No, I don't.
Seriously? Babe.
Took the towel.
I like how she steals his towel.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about...
She's a chubby chaser.
He is a little bit on the fuller side. But that's okay.
Portly, shall we?
Portly, yes.
Yeah.
So that was from the show. I can't decide if it's a YouTube show or if it's a TV show. I found it on YouTube, but it's called Self-Taught.
Okay.
So it's a clip from that. So now we're going to talk about the topic of sharing a shower and if it's appropriate. So this is not the gym shower. This is your home shower. Obviously, she caught him peeing in the shower. She doesn't appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you feel if you knew that you were sharing a shower with somebody that peed in it all the time, every day? Do you think that's gross to stand in somebody else's urine? Because not all of it, like I said, is going to be flushed down the drain.
Yeah, I think if I had suspicion that was happening, I think I would just kind of give it the old once over with the bleach before I got in, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So let's see. Emily McKenzie, MD, a dermatologist with University of Utah Health, says fungal and bacterial infections can be often be acquired from the shower. All of these are much more common in shared showers, such as those at the pool, gym, or in dorms. And it talks about the organisms that continue to live in the warm, moist, dark environment can be picked up when you're in the shower. So there's athlete's foot, there's wart viruses,
What?
HPV, have been present on shower floors. And this article is actually called Beware of the Shower Floor. The most serious common infection that you can acquire from a shower is MRSA, which we talked about, staph infections. I've never had a staph infection, but when I hear that if it's not treated with antibiotics, that you'd have to have it surgically drained.
What?
Yeah, like if you get a staph infection and it's all like gross and pussy or whatever, like they have to like go in and drain it. I don't know. I've heard of people talk about how painful that is. It usually happens when you have like a cut on your foot. So like they said, you know, if you're peeing and the water's diluting it, you probably don't have anything to worry about as far as an infection. But you don't know if your roommate has a UTI.
Right.
You don't know if someone has warts on their feet unless they tell you, which who's going to tell you.
Disgusting.
And then if you have a cut on your foot, despite the people that say that urine is an antiseptic and it can clear out a wound, it can actually cause an infection in that cut. And I know my feet get like really dry, like unless you're moisturizing them all the time, like they get really dry and cracked, especially going into winter. And
right.
So the other thing, as far as if you're renting a home, I pulled up housing for Hoosiers.org. So we are the Hoosiers in Indiana. And it talked about the landlord's responsibility and the resident's responsibility in terms of normal wear and tear. And one of the things that I saw for the landlord's responsibility was making sure that there's proper ventilation. That's their responsibility. But then the resident's responsibility is making sure that the shower receives regular cleanings and that there's no shower mold. So if you want your deposit back, make sure that if you're peeing in the shower, you're cleaning up after yourself, because it can actually cost you money. I'm just saying. I think Eric's getting a little bit too grossed out. He's shaking his head no. Okay. So we talked about sharing. Let's go ahead and do our fourth clip.
All right.
Want to make sure we don't run out of time. If they will play.
All I'm saying is, I enjoy peeing in the shower, and sometimes I consider pooping in my own hand. I don't do it, but if I'm capable of the thought, then clearly she is capable of peeing in the shower.
Yeah, Jay? Well, maybe I want to keep some things to ourselves. Myself, herself. Is that so wrong? Jesus. Gotta have everything out in the open, don't you?
Feels good, doesn't it? How about you? You pee in the shower?
Get your filthy ass out of here before I call security. Pooping in your own hand. You nasty.
I said I thought about it.
You nasty. I love her. She is my favorite. That is also from Self-Taught. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really sure if that show is a decent show, but it definitely worked for this episode.
Right.
Okay, so the reason I really wanted to play this clip is because I didn't even think about this. But do you know that 3% of people, it says 1 out of every 30 people, have pooped in the shower?
That's horrible. Like,
isn't that just? I think that is. They said to look around. They said if you're out running around and you see 30 people, just assume that one of those people has actually pooped in the shower. Like, just did not even care. Because there was running water and they thought it would just run. Yeah, that's horrifying. Like, when I saw that, I was like, I can't even believe that 3% of people. So let's talk about what other people do in the shower. It says that 25% of people blow their nose. 20% of people spit, and then 5% of people do the nasty. So you've got all of that stuff accumulating in the shower. This particular poll talked about work showers. Mm-hmm. This was actually at a company. They said that. So they said 3% of your coworkers. So they said, yeah, look around at who you work with, and that's what's happening in the work shower.
Okay.
Again, they don't care that they don't have to clean it up. I call those the 3 S's of dirty showering. So, yeah. We're going to bypass this lovely thing that I texted you.
Wait, which one was it?
That thing.
Oh.
Disgusting.
I think you should at least put it up on the camera.
Okay, so for our YouTube users, this was at the University of Massachusetts at Amherst. I don't know if it was a prank. I don't know if it was like one of the kids in the dorm.
Put the sign up?
Put the sign up on the shower doors. But yeah, they're like, the shower drains are not designed to handle what y'all are doing.
Yep.
That was one of the things I was going to ask the plumber. If the plumber calls me back, I was going to ask about...
Man, could you record that conversation?
Yeah, for what happens in a college dorm or like a frat house shower. I want to talk to the plumber who's on campus.
Yep.
That's the person that we need to talk
maintenance to see. So all these guys are, waxing the Buick.
Right. right.
Little 5-on-1.
Yeah.
And the outcome of that, how does that work for the old plumbing?
Yeah. I did read something where somebody said that when it first hits the shower floor, it becomes a horribly problematic thing, but then it gets diluted. So I don't know. We're probably going to save more of that talk for next week's Patreon episode.
Okay.
Especially if the plumber calls me back. I would love that. I really want to see what they have to say.
How about I just have maintenance in the studio?
Yes. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Brushing your teeth in the shower. Back in 2008, Jennifer Aniston said that she actually brushes her teeth in the shower to be eco-friendly. Whoever wrote this article, what was this from?
How is that eco-friendly?
Exactly. So the person who wrote this, let me see where this is from. Oh, I think it was a blog post. Somebody wrote a blog post. It says, if you're doing so like Aniston to save water, this is not a good idea, because if you're in the shower, you're using a lot more water than if you would if you brushed at the sink. And then especially when you're storing your toothbrush, like if you store it in the shower, we've already talked about how it has more germs than the toilet. So you don't want your toothbrush getting all of that fly up from... No. Have you ever brushed your teeth in the shower?
No, because I'm not a psychopath.
Well, and it also talked about if you're not looking in the mirror and you can't really see, how even if you're in the habit of doing it, you can kind of feel around, but really you need, and then if you're doing it at the sink, you can shut off the water in between. So I just don't think that makes sense.
No.
I'm sorry. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about before we do our last clip, and I know we're running out of time, I do feel like this is very, very important to talk about. It's the dangers and sickness that can come from not properly sanitizing your bathtub.
Okay.
This actually happened to one of my clients. That's why I wanted to bring it up, and I'm definitely not going to shame anyone. They felt horrible. They dumped something into their tub, and I mean, we're talking about buckets of dirty mop water. We're talking about fish aquariums. We're talking about anything where water has been sitting for a long time and it has produced mold and bacteria. They dumped something in their bathtub instead of like the toilet or outside. And then like later that night or the next day, they gave their child a bath. And the child actually ended up getting a bloodborne bacteria and had to go to the hospital. They spent like a week in the hospital with their kid. And I just don't think some people realize that can happen.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you're properly sanitizing. It says, do not bathe animals or wash their habitats in your kitchen sink. If bathtubs are used for these purposes, they should be thoroughly cleaned with soap and water afterwards. And then I didn't realize, excuse me, I know a lot of people have reptiles and amphibians, so they've got like the frogs and the snakes and all that stuff. I didn't realize that kids under 5 aren't supposed to be around.
Yep.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
No. Yes, I did, and I'm not even My mom. Uh-oh. You see what's happening here?
I know. I see. We're going to wrap up soon.
No, I'm just letting you know.
I know.
You just wanted to say wrap.
I know. I appreciate that. But I felt like that was very important to talk about. And then how your shower could kill you. This was an interesting article.
Sounds interesting.
I know. We're going to go ahead and save all that for next week. So if you want to go ahead and play our last clip, let's just lightly talk on this because it's fun.
Can we give a disclaimer that it's from a terrible, terrible show?
You don't like Friends?
No.
Oh my gosh. I feel like a lot of people that loved Friends also loved Seinfeld and vice versa. I loved them both. Go ahead.
Well, back in the day, though, there's people that really like Nirvana and then they hated Pearl Jam and back and forth.
Yeah.
Usually it wasn't people that liked both.
Okay.
So there's good people and bad people is what I'm saying.
Right.
So here we go for the bad people.
For the bad
I was in too much pain.
And I was tired from digging the huge hole. And then Joey remembered something.
I'd seen this thing on the Discovery Channel.
Wait a minute. I saw that on the Discovery Channel. Yeah, about jellyfish and how if you... Ew! You peed on yourself?
Ew! You can't say that. You don't know. I mean, I thought I was going to pass out from the pain. Anyway, I tried, but I couldn't bend that way.
Uh-huh.
So?
Good old Joey.
That's right, I stepped up. She's my friend and she needed help.
Local
If
hero.
I had to, I'd pee on any one of you.
I'd pee on any one of you.
Wow.
Okay, so the last topic we're going to talk about in a very clean way is peeing on other people.
Okay.
The cleanest way possible.
Yeah.
So, of course, they're talking about a jellyfish sting. And the myth is that when you pee on it, that's going to help relieve some of the pain. Real quick, according to healthline.com, urine does contain compounds like ammonia and urea that might help soothe a jellyfish sting. But the same research says that you have to balance this with the other components of urine that could likely worsen the jellyfish sting. One of urine's components includes sodium, which is like rubbing salt in the wound, because the urine stream could push the jellyfish stingers. You're better off treating a jellyfish sting by carefully removing the tentacles, washing it off with seawater, and applying an over-the-counter pain-relieving ointment.
Yeah, but seawater's salt water too.
I know. It's like they said, it's basically... I mean, if you're out, like, if you want to treat it, like, right then, you're better off kind of throwing some seawater on it than peeing on it.
Using
because
whiz.
of the ammonia.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I got you.
Yeah. Real quick, man arrested for peeing on Jersey City women.
Okay.
So, Jersey City's nightmare is over. The serial urinator has been arrested.
Okay.
A 27-year-old was arrested for urinating on at least 7 women. Apparently, he would walk up behind them at bus stations or train stations and pee on their leg.
He sounds fantastic.
Oh, he looks like a dream.
So he's never getting a date again.
You know, you would think. But, you know, you see those people that are in prison and women come to visit them.
Well, that's true.
They've got pen pals. They all, even, it doesn't matter what they've done. So, yeah, I thought that was interesting. You can actually get arrested, of course. What was the last thing? There was one other thing here.
That happened at a comedy club.
Oh, did it?
Was it Nate Bargatze? But there was a guy in the upper balcony, and they were kind of roasting the comic or just being out of line, and the guy just whips it out and starts whizzing on people in front of him and then flees the club. Hilarious.
It's hilarious. Is throwing pee on someone illegal? Why, yes, it is. This is Legal Answers. It's avvo.com. A couple weeks ago, my drug-addicted boyfriend threw or sprayed a 2-week-old bottle of his pee on me. I want to file a court claim for 1.5 years of domestic violence, blah, 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 blah. I'm not downplaying what she's saying. It's just there was this whole question.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the answer was throwing any substance on you as a potential misdemeanor battery.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, don't.
This could be state to state as well.
Yes. Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting since we're talking about since I brought up the jellyfish thing. All right. So basically, in conclusion, this is what I have to say, because I am a professional cleaner, and like I said, it's been weighing on me. I feel like this is my chance. I feel like if you're in a situation like Eric and you have your own shower and you clean up after yourself, then pee away. It's your shower. Whatever you stand in is your business. If you're going to the gym, don't just assume that poor lady at the gym or man, whoever is cleaning up, that custodians do not make enough money to deal with your crap, literally.
Right.
Do not do gross stuff just because it's a public shower, and be courteous of other people that are coming in. I actually yelled at my grandpa a little bit. I gave him a stern talking to. He's not a member now, but,
Yeah.
I know people do stuff, but, know better, do better. You have this look on your face. You've been very quiet today, and that I'm not sure if you're just processing this information.
It's just Monday. It's just one of those days.
So there's a debate, obviously a big debate online about how bad this is. Where do you kind of fall? I know, like, you've got your own shower, but when it comes to just all these other scenarios we've talked about.
Well, I think most people, if they're going to shower at the gym, they take their own little sandals just because of that.
The shower shoes.
Flesh-eating bacteria athlete's foot on steroids kind of stuff that is there. But
I had a friend that couldn't stand flip-flops, and so he said in college he would wear one pair of socks in the shower so that his feet wouldn't directly touch the floor, but obviously they're getting wet, and then he would get out and he would put on a dry pair of socks.
So,
I love flip-flops. I take them to hotel rooms. We didn't even get a chance to talk about hotel rooms, but again.
Back to this guy. So he's not in any position now where he's treating people or in any public service. I mean, if the guy.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
if his problem-solving skills were to wear socks in the shower.
Yeah, well, and he even said, that was like 20 years ago or whatever. Still doesn't like flip-flops from what I understand. It's been a long time since I've talked to him, but I just remember that was a conversation because I love, I wear flip-flops until it gets freezing cold.
Yep.
I wear them, even in hotel showers, I wear them. So
women can, but if you see a man wearing flip-flops and blue jeans, you just assume he's looking for a certain kind of bar,
Okay.
But
well, and I still think that's better than socks with sandals.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I think that's all for today. I think we covered a lot. I think, everyone needs to just take a minute and process this. I think it's a really good conversation for you to have with your significant other. Okay. I think one of the things I didn't get fan mail, but I did get feedback from someone, and they said, what's funny is we listened to, I think it was the first episode about the bath towels together. And she said, I've been with this person for a number of years, and we would stop the episode and look at each other and be like, well, what do you do? And it started some interesting conversations.
Well, this one especially, we've covered everything from all types of body fluids.
I asked my aunt when I was at my grandpa's house, my aunt was there, and I said, just out of curiosity, does my uncle pee in the shower? And she said, she goes, I don't think so, because I do notice that he goes to the bathroom before he gets in the shower.
Yeah.
And I think that's the trick, is to, if you go to the bathroom before you go to the shower, then you don't have to worry about being stuck.
Right.
And making this horrible decision.
Horrible.
So
Well, I think most people just assume the stuff that's in the shower is so much worse. I mean, if you're getting E. coli on your towel from drying off, what do you think is in the shower floor?
Yeah,
So
in the shower floor. I mean, I think that's the thing too. Is so many people take baths. Like maybe the shower, the full shower was clean like on a Saturday, and then maybe on a Tuesday night, someone goes in and says, I'm going to take a bath. And you're not thinking about what happened between Saturday and Tuesday. So hopefully this will open your eyes. Like, I feel bad for the people that just have no clue, and then they run the bath and then they get in, and that is how UTIs are born.
Luckily, yeah.
So
my shower is just a shower. So
bubble baths from hell, they do happen.
Oh.
And then you're stuck going to the doctor.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's a fun time. So thank you all for joining us. Find us at www.y'alldirtypodcast.com. Email us, reach out to us. Make sure if you're in the Indianapolis area, you go to KFC in Fisher's Mundy Drive location and you claim your spork and your gift card. You can also donate $1 to military kids and they'll give you a coupon book.
Oh.
Yeah, really good charity. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next week. Bye, Eric.
Bye-bye. I said bye-bye. It's terrible.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.